Okay, so this project is in collaboration with Noura, my friend, and this project it represents the truth in society. That's why I chose the Joker in particular, and he's looking down at Heath Ledger, and he shows how everyone is a coward for not speaking the truth, and he looks down at the people who don't say the truth. Copy. And yeah, he's like the fantasy part and versus the realism part.
This is basically
The owl. For the owl, I chose the owl because it's a majestic animal, and I love majestic animals. And like he takes pride, and he's like wise. He's known for that. The owl, and it symbolizes so many different things. That's how I incorporated culture into my project. Because in Africa it means something different, in the US it means something different, in the Middle East it could be either an animal that's wise or an animal who's bad luck or bad omen. So this one, pain, in the beginning my main direct message was depression, and I was going to hear the woman, it shows that she's in pain, and then I was gonna add knives, broken glass and mirrors, but I chose not to since someone else saw it as violence against women, so I decided to keep it empty. I find it more powerful like this, instead of showing like the exact pain what she's feeling. So yeah, so it's free for the viewer to interpret it the way that he wants. And now here the wolf, sorry. I chose the wolf because it's also a majestic animal and he takes pride, and I chose it because of the lone wolf. I incorporated into it also culture and Arabic patterns with the henna and with a mixture of zintangle. And the title of the poem is Al-Wahda, which I embedded into this artwork. And yeah, like the lone wolf, and like the loneliness is killing him, and it shows the sadness of being lonely. This is my first project. I love it because it's my first project, and I've always wanted to paint a lion, and it's the first time I experimented with oil painting. I love the eyes. The eyes were the most important things, and I care about eyes a lot because I think they bring the life out of everything. So I wanted to show that there's a fierce, strong, brave, courageous, and furious lion and furious lion in every single one of us, and it will come out as time passes. So I also chose the lion here because, again, it's a majestic animal and it takes like pride, and he's the king of the jungle. So here I showed art pop and art versus reality, and how art is unlimited and colorful and creative, while versus the limited black and white boring realism. And I used two different medias. I used acrylic paint and oil paint to symbolize, to emphasize more on the meaning. And then here I used is a photography project. I used Jimmy and my brother because I wanted to, and the main kind of this project is the living dead, and what I mean by it is that we're all living but we're not really alive, and we're not doing anything to change. We're just conforming to everything else, and we're good at work, as good as dead. This is the cat from Alice in Wonderland. I love this project because I always wanted to do it as well. I did this with Play-Doh on wood, and this cat is devious and known for its mischievous ways and how it's almost everywhere, and it's kind of like I don't know. So everyone's mad at on some level, and I love his mischievous smile. It symbolizes a lot of things, different things. This project was my last project, and it's the most personal one to me. It's about depression, and it's me basically being forced to smile. The girl doesn't want to be happy, she just wants to be left alone, and she's crying the life out of her, and everyone's telling her be happy, and she just doesn't want to be happy, she wants to be left alone. So yeah, I love this project and it means a lot to me. This project is where I experimented my skills in collage. It's called identification because she's being labeled and she's different from her culture, because that's how I embedded culture into my project, using newspaper from French, English and Arabic. She's being labeled as depressed, annoying, strange, weird, sad and fat. So she's different, and she's just different from society, so she's being labeled and she's identified by these following adjectives. This project I love, and it's almost everyone's favorite because of the realism. I love realism. But here I started, this is my second project of where I wanted to prove my theory of how the eyes give the most, or the life of an artwork or anything basically. So yeah, I chose this character because the title of this destruction. I chose this character in particular because this character is in one of my favorite series of all time, Breaking Bad, and just this character being constantly it keeps getting kicked and being kicked down and being hurt, and every time something bad happens, something worse happens. But he still holds on to hope, and he keeps fighting. That's the symbolism of this character. After popular demand from my family, I chose to paint my grandfather, and I chose to link it to my theme, which is contrast. So I decided to do it in black and white, and the background in colored. He loved zira'a, farming and nature itself, so I decided the perfect way to symbolize it is through the olive tree, since it symbolizes forever and immortality and so many other things. So I find it perfect. So it is also a personal project. This is my project. It's called Wired. So this screen can be whatever you want it to be. It could be either education, media, advertisements, television, anything. And how we're wired now, and we're being hypnotized to being wired to it, and how it's eating our creativity and originality. And this project is called Domination, and this is how I think my brain is. I use candle wax and different mixed media to show how instead of the brain being half and half, to be dominating over the left or right side. It's 95%, instead of 50-50, it's 95% creativity and artistic stuff, and only the 5% is the boring stuff like science and math. So this is one of my favorite projects as well. This is one of my favorite projects as well. It's black and white. It's a face cut in half. So on the outside it's black and white and how we're all the same and dull and boring. But on the inside we're so different and creative and yeah, and like we're different, and I love this quote, and all the other colors I am inside have not been invented yet by Shel Silverstein, which inspired this project. So then there's this project. It's my first project where I wanted to prove the life is in the eyes, So I decided to do her in black and white, and just the colors, just the eyes colored. I used coloring pencils, charcoal and pencil. And I used over 10 colors to do her eyes to make sure they glow. Last but not least, the Mad Hatter, and it's called Labeled for a reason because he's being labeled as Mad while his actual name is the Hatter, the character. And I chose this version of the Mad Hatter because I found it the most intriguing one from all of them. Because Tim Burton's version and Johnny Depp's version is the mercury poisoning. I researched in depth about the character. The mercury poisoning, they made sure it came out with the eyes, they made them green, and the nails, and the hair made it orange. And I find it such an interesting character since it's being labeled, and how his character is used to describe a person as like mad as a hatter. So it's called the Mad Hatter, and that's why I love this project. I'm done. This is March 21st, 2015, and this is my first art exhibition in Beirut, Suits. This hasn't been such a bad experience. It's a good experience. I thought I was gonna get criticism, but I didn't. So I still don't know how to improve. So I don't know what to do. A lot of people came today, and I hope a lot of more people come tomorrow so I can actually see different opinions on people's favorite ones. And yeah.